Hey guys, I have a weekend editorial for you. A little bit. I'm drinking some coffee here, enjoying the morning, and I have a news story that somebody sent me, and I saved it for the weekend so that I could take my time with it. It's kind of lengthy and there's a lot to it, but it's from the Batavian.com. The Batavian.com sends us this. Also, ABC 13 did a smaller article on it. But I saved it for the weekend so that I could take my time with it and not have to rush through. And I've been reading it. I've read it a couple times through. But apparently it was a standoff in Batavia, which is in New York, Genesee County. And on Monday, November 18th, at approximately 1:18 p.m., the Genesee County Dispatch Center received a domestic call at 209 Liberty Street. Now, the caller reported that an intoxicated male had struck a female, and the male was in possession of a sword. He thought it was the Matrix, I guess. It was also reported that the female was able to escape the residence, but when officers from the Batavia Police Department arrived on scene and encountered the male, he had barricaded himself inside. The male was known as Daniel Wolf at the residence. The female was located and found safe at a neighbor's home. The suspect, who remained inside the house, began shooting at officers with a BB gun. BB gun. I wonder if that's why they didn't just shoot him. But I don't know, a BB rifle, well, I guess they knew it wasn't a real rifle. But immediately the Batavia Police Department set up a perimeter around the residence, and neighbors were told to shelter in place over a BB rifle and a sword. The Batavia City School District was informed of the incident, so appropriate measures will be taken to ensure the safety of the students, including the students attending the Jackson Primary School, located a few blocks away. Several options were tried to get Wolf to surrender, including launching of chemical agents into the residence and the use of robots and drones to determine where he was inside of the residence. Other negotiators and SWAT teams were called to assist. I'm going to go over the canisters in a minute, the chemical agent canisters. There's another story I'm going to look at real quick, too, regarding that. But they did try chemical agents and drones, robots, and so forth to try to get him to surrender. They were trying to find out where he was in the residence here at 209 Liberty Street. Eventually, Wolf did surrender after 20 hours. This was a 20-hour standoff for a guy with a sword and a BB gun. I wonder if they did the 20-hour standoff and took him. Even though he was shooting a BB gun at the police, they took him alive because of all of the news surrounding police shootings. That's something interesting to think about. I know my editorials, I always open cans of worms, man, for people just to talk about. But that's what the comment section below is for. But after 20 hours, Wolf exited the residence and surrendered to Detective Sergeant Kevin Sora of the Batavia Police Department. Wolf was transported to Strong Memorial Hospital for injuries he sustained during the incident. These injuries were self-inflicted, and all officers at the scene and civilians at the neighborhood were unharmed during this incident. So here it is. When he was released from the hospital, Strong Hospital, at which time he was arrested, the charges were first-degree criminal contempt, 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the 3rd degree, menacing 2nd degree, and harassment 2nd degree. So those are his charges. But again, it makes you wonder why they didn't just rush in and get the guy who was shooting at them with a BB gun. Why didn't shoot in at him? Is it because of all the news regarding the police shootings that they didn't want to take his life and figure that it was going to cause a huge stir. I'm looking at another article here. And Batavia City Council President Eugene Jankowski reached out to David Zanji and his sister and advocate Mary Ellen Wilbur in an attempt to get them in touch with emergency relief agencies after their life was disrupted earlier this week regarding the chemical agents in the basement. He's a dialysis patient and said his medication was compromised during the ordeal because of the chemical agents, which saw Daniel Wolf hold police at bay throughout the night, and he barricaded himself in the upstairs apartment with a pellet gun or a BB gun and a sword. All right, so to sum it up, this guy Daniel Wolf was intoxicated, gets into it with a woman. She calls the police. The Batavia Police Department responded. They did a 20-hour standoff. And when he exited, finally, they fired chemical agents into the building, sent drones in. The chemical agents disrupted the life of this dialysis patient, Zanji, my cat, man. And then after 20 hours, of course, he exits, gets arrested, and he's now being held. But the Zanji, they can't go, or I don't know, do they go back into the house? I'll post the link to the stories below in the description box. But I guess the city council went out to meet with them to talk about it. So I guess there's a guy who comments here. He says, the idea that the decisions of police officers in our community is tied to political calculations is ludicrous on its face and an insult to our officers. They went out there, they shot these chemical agents into the house. They had a dialysis patient in the house. I don't know. The question remains, should these officers have fired chemical agents into the house where they had a dialysis patient? I mean, that's something to have to think about. But then you have a guy upstairs with a BB gun and a sword holding officers at bay. I don't know. I don't know that the chemical agents, I don't know if they should have fired him in there with the dialysis patient there, but that's something you guys will have to decide. Community Leo Watch, let you know what's going on in your community. And Batavia, New York, kind of had an exciting Monday. And in the end, it affected a dialysis patient get to his medicine or have his treatment because of the chemical agents that the police fired. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This one is really long. Like I said, I've read it 2 or 3 times, tried to put together an editorial and see what's going on. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend and hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I will have some editorials for you on Monday and Tuesday. There's a lot of distractions right now, so I'm going to go ahead and close this. But thanks for watching, guys, and there's your editorial. That's what happened in Batavia, New York of this week.